It's time for another double shot.
Jason, I saw this headline. This is a topic that my wife is going to be interested in and love. Elizabeth, do you know who Elizabeth Taylor is? Is dating Billy Ray Cyrus. Elizabeth Taylor, Billy Ray Cyrus. Odd
That's
couple.
not true. I mean, unless Billy Ray Cyrus is coming out in favor of necrophilia, I guess.
Elizabeth Hurley. You're right. Elizabeth
Okay, so
Taylor.
completely
who was in
different
Cleopatra.
actress.
Completely different actress.
Okay, that
Also,
slightly makes more sense. Only slightly, though.
both beautiful actresses. Either one, I wouldn't believe Billy Ray Cyrus. It
You
feels
okay
like
over there?
It feels like. Am I having a stroke? It feels like an odd couple.
You smell toast.
I do smell toast. Actually, is my hair burning? What do you think of that? Elizabeth Hurley, who's objectively good looking. How old is Elizabeth Hurley, by the way? She's got to
be in her early 50s
Can
now.
we find this out, Patrick? Can you find out how old she is and flash it across the screen and tell us how old she is?
So Elizabeth Hurley, who is best known for Austin Powers?
I would say the Austin Powers movies. She's
been gone, at least I haven't seen her in anything for 2 decades.
only a bikini. No. Stupid jokes.
That was awful.
I'm not on today.
Oh, God.
She's dating Billy Ray Cyrus, who's best known for Achy Breaky Heart. You remember that song
Well,
from the
he's
late 80s?
actually, now he's best known for having a famous daughter.
Yes, he has
And
a famous
he was
daughter
in that song with the rapper,
with the cowboy.
Lil Nas X.
Little Nas X. I was going to call him Lil Wayne, but that's not right.
No, that's wrong.
But it would be in keeping with my name, getting names wrong on this
So do you
episode.
think he's dating above or she's dating below?
Oh, far she's dating below. Yeah.
Billy Ray Cyrus
Billy
is a
Ray
good-looking
Cyrus?
guy. Kinda.
No, but the point is he's like an obscure. She's kind of obscure now too. She's very old.
Totally obscure. If you could go on Dancing with the Stars or Big Brother Celebrity and people will be like, I think I remember who that person is,
No.
then you're obscure. And both of
No,
those
you're right.
people would fit in. I mean, if anything,
I think I have
it's a good match.
I think I'm placing more importance on her because when I was a young man, she was in kind of her apex of popularity and attractiveness. And so I think probably I'm thinking she's a bigger deal than she is, which could be right. Billy Ray Cyrus, though, I mean, like, can you find a guy who's made more of less? He had Achy Breaky Heart. Name another song. I guess you already did Lil Nas X.
Yeah, but that wasn't his song.
But that wasn't him.
Yeah.
He was like a novelty part of that song.
He was a big he was like an OG one-hit wonder,
Yeah.
as I recall. Maybe he had other hits
But that
within
was
country
like
music.
no, but that was almost 40 years ago, and now he's dating. Yeah, maybe they're well matched. Actually, now that you say
Yeah,
it,
I
maybe
think they're
well
actually a
matched.
perfect match. I mean, if you're going to match people who are D-list celebrities, I think those two are a good one.
On an attractive scale, though, let's look at the picture of them both on the screen. On an attractive scale,
Yeah, she's more attractive.
she's
than
more
he
attractive
is.
than he is.
Yes.
She could do better. I don't think he could do better. God bless him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done fine, but I don't think he could do better.
I think
she
that
could do better.
this is proof that personality really matters.
I don't know anything about his personality.
I was talking about hers.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, she's got a great personality.
We'll see you next time. Welcome to another edition of the Double Shot. Today we learned that the WIAA, for the first time in a century, approved a brand new sport statewide, girls flag football, which is,
Nice.
okay. I mean, it's not really a sport. That's a game.
What's not a sport? Flag football?
flag football?
Oh,
It's
I'm sorry.
It's a game.
You happen to be talking to a flag football coach right now.
Yeah.
Assistant coach. I'm not technically the lead coach.
So
yet,
even
but
on a
maybe
game, you haven't
couple
gotten up to
years.
the point where you're the head coach.
They're all games. They're like it's a wonderful sport. You know what flag football is?
No,
Jason?
football is a sport.
No.
Flag football is a way around it to make it safer for people who can't participate in the actual sport.
Well,
And-
children, yes.
Yeah, children, but like T-ball is not a sport, it's a game. Baseball is the game.
No,
This-
but you're
this is
working your
T-ball.
way up to baseball.
Yeah, but this is T-ball for girls and for young women. The reason why they're not going to go with regular football is because it's dangerous. Because the whole idea of the WIAA having flag football for girls, ask them to define one. They're not going to be able to define one, right? Because
you
part
could
of the issue here is, and I think that this is really what this is about. This is a way to get trans girls to participate in football in a way that isn't inherently dangerous for the biological girls that they'd be competing against. You're not seeing the reverse, right? You're not seeing trans boys playing football. Why is that? Because they'd get hurt. And so I think that's what this is about. Or at least it's hard to completely separate out the grander controversial position that they've taken on trans athletes, you can't take it out of this.
It's interesting.
move.
It's interesting with the WIAA because they were the ones originally, what was it, like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, who came out and they were saying that a third league.
Well, so no, it were the membership. It was the membership of WIAA representing a couple dozen of schools that took that position.
Mm-hmm.
They're members, and they said, "Hey, we want to move forward with these amendments." And then the WIAA said, "Okay, but we're not going to follow through if these are approved. We're going to pretend that this is illegal."
I was giving credit to the WIAA for doing something that I actually thought would have been kind of a useful thing.
So I'm all with you, and I would love to support them if that's what their position was, but it wasn't. It was actually the position of school boards like the Linden School Board District or Linden School District.
Well, then the Linden School District probably has it right if they want to create extra leagues, I think, so everybody can have fair play. That's great.
This is essentially an extra league, isn't it? But just for girls.
Well, no, because I coach a team that's we do have a girl.
For children.
Yeah, they're children. We have a one girl on our team. We have 13 players. We have one girl who's fantastic, and then we have 12 boys, and they get
not fantastic. Why don't they get that?
Well, I felt like I wanted to give her a little extra credit because
we know. That's
she's the only girl on the team, and I think that's.
I don't see gender.
Oh, you don't see gender.
Apparently,
okay.
The coaches do.
Well, no.
Sounds like that's all you see. You keep going off about the one girl.
No, let me just speak to the wider, the thing that I like about flag football is that it does give them the ability to play football and get some of the skill sets, the passing, the catching, the team stuff, without also having to focus on the hitting part. I'm surprised because the kids that we're playing with are like 9 and 10-year-olds. I'm surprised that a parent would put a 9-year-old in before they learned the other skill sets really well. I mean, like the tackling part. Vital, obviously, and you want to make sure that you're tackling the right way. And I mean,
but you're not tackling in this, which is why I consider it not really a sport. It's exercise. It's a game, right?
What do you?
Yeah, I mean, if you have to completely change,
it's not
a key component of the sport. Well, what is football without?
Have you ever snapped a flag, Jason? Have you ever snapped a flag off?
I have. How's that for a rule? If you can do this as an adult, who's out of shape and not an athlete, it's not a real sport. Kind of like NASCAR.
And golf.
Actually, that's also not a sport too. And by the way, you can't even walk. You have to take a little bit.
You ride a tiny car. Just ride a tiny car around, and you have an assistant with you the whole time. What is that?
That's nonsense.
Easy.
We'll see you tomorrow. It's time for another double shot. We were talking earlier this week about Billy Ray Cyrus, and you've become obsessed with his relationship with Elizabeth Hurley.
I have.
We spent an awful lot of time, in fact, off the double shot talking about that. But it got me thinking about one-hit wonders who are overrated. I think we can objectively say Achy Breaky Heart. That was a good song, especially for its time. It was a catchy tune. It
was very catchy.
It mainstreamed country music at the time in a way that, sort of Taylor Swift did at one point before she became a sellout. But I was thinking about all of the overrated one-hit wonders, because usually everyone calls it a one-hit wonder because it's a great song, but that was their only big hit. But Flagpole Sita by Harvey Danger is probably the king of one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
And that song sucks.
Local band.
Yep. He's also insufferable. But that band,
I don't know anything about.
That song was awful. I don't understand why people really like that song. Paranoia, paranoia, everyone's coming together. Yeah, okay, that's very lazy.
Does he post? Is he a political person? Is that why you?
He was. I don't know if he does that anymore.
Has he wisened up and he stops?
No, well, no one wisens up locally.
I actually really like that song. Now that you mention
it. That's a horrible song.
They wrote that. The legend was, because that song came out, like 2001, maybe 1998, 99?
It was in the 2000s. I don't
Early 2000s, possibly late 90s, sometime around there. That's when you and I, well, no, you're a lot younger than me, but that's when I was in high school.
28. Yeah.
You're 28, so.
I was in elementary school.
So you were in, no, you weren't even in, you're probably in.
I was in preschool. I was in my diapers at the time.
You're in diapers at the time. So you're in diapers, I think, till you're 5. But that song, allegedly, that song was written in their dorm room at UW. And when you start thinking of it like that, like how crazy would that be? That journey to go from sitting in your dorm room at UW
to being a one-hit wonder.
To being, okay, here's a question for you. Wouldn't you love to have one hit? Wouldn't that be nice?
I've got plenty of hits. I've got one hit. It's my book.
No, your book is but I wouldn't say you're one-hit wonder. You got a lot more books in you, buddy. But like when you look back in life, how crazy is it that you could write a song
And then
that
two
hits
schmucks can talk about it in their internet video.
years later.
Making fun of it.
Yeah,
years
making
later.
fun of it. And everybody knows what we're talking about.
I would rather-
Everyone's coming to get me.
I would rather be known for a quality one-hit wonder. And there is one, even though the album, by the way, that this song came off of is brilliant.
Okay.
What the heck is it? You Only Get What You Give by New Radicals, I think they're called, right? The New Radicals? You only get what you give. Don't give up. That's a great song. That's a good. It's the New Radicals, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's we see a photo
going.
on it.
Keep going.
No, I'm not going to sing anymore.
sing it, Sam.
It's a great
Sing the
song. That is a song that, by the way, still holds.
You got a reason to live. That's not it.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Is it reason to
You
live?
only get what you give. Yeah.
They say reason to live? I just made that up.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No,
I guess
it can't-
subconsciously I knew
You
it.
knew it. Yeah,
was
everyone knows that
ingrained.
song. God, that's a great song.
How does that end?
Yeah, sad career. He went away. Like his life, or you mean the song?
Oh, not his life.
You know what? As I recall,
you're cold.
the
You are a
song
cold
ends.
person.
The song ends the way they used to, like in the '80s, where it just fades
It
out.
just goes, listen to live.
And then it's like, I always wondered, like, how do you end that at a concert?
That's
and
great.
why did no one decide how we ended on a concert? We should end it on the album.
What's his name? What's the guy's name?
I don't know. The guy from New Radicals.
Let's say his name is Kevin. Kevin Radical. Kevin, should we come up with an ending for that song? Like, do you think like it just kind of fades off? Is that how you want it,
and
Kevin?
then Len. Remember that song? Now I got to look it up.
Len?
You don't remember Len?
How much time are these videos?
I don't care. We're doing it. Len is the artist, and it's
If you like one-hit wonders, there's a movie called That Thing You Do. Have you seen That Thing You Do? Tom Hanks wrote.
That
and
was a
directed
good
it.
movie.
That's a good movie, but it's a movie about a band who comes up with a hit song where they sing.
oh, it
about-
wasn't Len. Maybe it was Ren.
Do you remember the song in That Thing You Do?
You doing that thing you do,
Every
breaking my
time-
heart
No.
into a million
Breaking my
pieces.
heart
Yeah, breaking my
to
a million pieces.
like you always do.
Well, that other song, I can't remember the name. They were so good that I don't remember the song or the. That was a good movie.
Cruel.
Remember when Liv Tyler was a thing?
Yeah, I liked her more as Eowyn in Lord of the Rings. That was
Such a
good.
nerd. Okay, we'll see you next time. It's time for another double shot. Last week, there was a big story that nationally just got picked up this week. If you're local, you heard of the so-called hack against the crosswalk signal buttons, where if you pushed it, they started speaking as Jeff Bezos. Here's the video.
Hi, I'm Jeff Bezos. This crosswalk is sponsored by Amazon Prime with an important message. Please don't tax the rich. Otherwise, all the other billionaires will move to Florida too. Wouldn't it be terrible if all the rich people left Seattle or got Luigi'd and then normal people could afford to live here again? Jeffrey Bezos.
Now, what's fun here, Jake, is that
It's just funny, actually.
well, I mean, they do have a clear threat where they're saying we should Luigi these rich people, but basically saying we want all the rich people to leave Seattle because then housing will become more affordable. First of all, how many millionaire and billionaires do you think exist in Seattle specific? And then number two, let's just say they were all to leave. They all did what Jeff Bezos did, which was go to Florida.
Which I hope they don't. They should not.
Who are y'all deciding to tax like crazy? Because the Democrats just passed over the weekend their bill to raise the capital gains tax forever. They're doing their new version of a wealth tax. You do realize that those are the ones who pay the taxes. Dude whose voice is on this, you probably don't pay all that much in taxes, but you would if all the wealthy people left.
Yeah, what are they going to do when there's nobody left to tax? That is a good question.
The second that you have, let's just, again,
They're
all the
gonna
Jeff Bezos of Washington State,
Well,
they all
here's what
leave.
they're going to do. They're going to have to move down the tier of wealthy people.
Yeah.
And they're going to then
Which
move
they're
to-
already doing, right?
They're already doing
They're
that.
already doing
They're already
that.
moving down to homeowners, and they're saying if you own a home, even though in 2001 voters passed an initiative saying that you could not raise the interest rate on your house more than 1%, your property taxes more than 1% a year. Now they're saying, we might be able to actually change that and make it so
they
can
are.
raise it up to 4% a year.
They're going to and
Which
tie
is
it to
insane.
inflation, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Which makes no sense, and it's insane, and it's going to hurt the housing market. It's going to make it even more difficult for people who were just on the verge of maybe being able to afford a house. That's gone. They're not going to be able to afford a house anymore. It's also going to kill the housing market for people who are going to sell a house, because suddenly nobody's going to buy a house if you have to worry. Not only have to worry about crazy home loan interest rates, which are what is it right now, 7% or something, maybe high sixes. Then you're also going to have to factor in this yearly cost that could go up by 4% every year. You have to factor that in, and it may not pencil out for you. It's awful.
Other than that, it's a wonderful plan, and the message
great.
behind this is amazing. And I think all the wealthy people should absolutely leave, so this dude who's undoubtedly a barista right now can get hit with even higher taxes, and then he'll have that to complain about.
Crazy town.
We'll see you next time.